Tokkummaa Oromoo tokkummaa kan kaabaaf kan dhiyaa kan bahaaf kan dhiyaa kallattii afraniin hundi kan jirtani Oromoo dhagaa tokkummaa abjuu keenya durii yaa dhiiga eebbisa jalafee agarii ayyaana gadaa koo ayyaantuu saba koo ati nu gargaari ayyaantuu saba koo ati nu gargaari injifannoon kan uummata Oromooti.
Stop! Killing! University students! In Ethiopia!
It's not known exactly how many people have been killed.
What are these protests and why are they happening? Here's a brief overview of Oromian history leading to these contemporary issues. The Oromo nation belongs to indigenous Cushitic people who lived in Eastern Africa for many thousands of years. The Oromo are the single largest national group in the Horn of Africa. Their motherland is the vast, wet highlands of central and southern parts of the present Oromian regional state. The Oromo were ruled by the Gada system, a traditional system of social stratification that had a cycle of 8 years, with those going through the cycle assuming economic, political, cultural, military, and other related responsibilities. However, like other African nations, the Oromo lost this independence during the European colonialism of Africa in the 19th century. But the irony was that the Oromo were colonized by a succession of Ethiopian rulers, with full support from European colonizers, mainly the British and French, who allied with Ethiopia at different times depending on their interest. As a result, the Oromo were subjected to brutal rules of successive Ethiopian governments. During this time, they were deprived of speaking their language in government settings, practicing their traditional religion called Wakifata, and other cultural practices. They also lost all their lands to the imperial landlord. All in all, they were alienated from the country's socio-economic and political systems until the end of the imperial regime. When the socialist government under the dictator Mengistu Haile Mariam replaced the imperial government under the Emperor Haile Selassie, they got back their land and were promised to be able to practice their rights. However, the socialist government soon turned out to be the worst ever, and thousands of Oromo were detained, killed, or fled the country. Nevertheless, the Oromo continued to resist against such a repressive government, but this time under its freedom fighter organization, the Oromo Liberation Front, which fought the Derg, the socialist government, along with its counterparts, the Eritrean and Tigrian Liberation Fronts, who overthrew the Derg regime of Mengistu Haile Mariam. Then, the three groups created a transitional government of Ethiopia in 1991. The transitional government survived for only 1 year. Then, the OLF was expelled from the government by the collaborated forces of two other groups. In the meantime, the Eritrean People's Liberation Front separated Eritrea from Ethiopia. Then the Tigrian People's Liberation Front created the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, specifically targeting the Oromo people under the peaceful Oromia regional state from OLF control. During this time, thousands of Oromos were persecuted, many thousands were put in harsh prisons, and many more thousands fled the country. The current Oromo students movement was one of the reactions to this untold suppression and discrimination by the Ethiopian government against the Oromo people and their resources. One typical example of this was the extensive forest fire in Oromia, which many believed to be a government action to eradicate the OLF from Oromo land. Then came the Addis Ababa master plan. The plan first came to public attention in 2014. It was first opposed by the ruling party members of Oromo descent, then by students from different universities and high schools. However, the government tried to suppress the Oromo students' protest by firing live ammunition at them. Between 85 to 100 students were killed. The infamous master plan continued through 2015 and caused the whole Oromo nation to protest it. According to Human Rights Watch, at least 75 people have been killed in recent weeks. As we speak, the Oromo all over Oromia are still protesting against the master plan. Why are the Oromo resisting the Addis Ababa master plan? There are several reasons. They were not consulted about the plan. They are not being compensated for the land taken by the government. Already marginalized economically, the Oromos are not part of the development plan by the government. The Oromo believe that the plan has a secret mission of reducing the amount of Oromo land, and that it is intended to create a new state within the Oromia regional state, dividing Oromia into pieces and possibly leading to ethnic fighting. What is the extent of the resistance against the master plan? Last year, many universities and high school students protested against the plan. During 2015, Oromians from different universities, high schools, elementary schools, as well as parents of the students and people in general, protested and are still protesting as we speak. Oromians throughout the diaspora rallied and protested in solidarity with people in the homeland. In 2014, Oromians throughout the world demonstrated on May the 9th. In 2015, a global day of action was held on December 10.
Study, justice, freedom, for Oromo, freedom for Oromo, freedom for Oromo, freedom for Ugaden, freedom for Ugaden, freedom for Ugaden. Supporting killers. The government stop supporting the dictator.
What may be on the horizon in light of these protests? Amnesty International has warned that there might be a brutal crackdown on protesters. Human Rights Watch has already reported that at least 75 people have been killed in recent weeks. Also, ethnic fighting in Ethiopia could happen, leading to possible genocide. What do the Oromo need? Number 1, the immediate abolition of the master plan. Number 2, the Ethiopian government must stop killing and arresting the Oromo people. Number 3, Western governments, the IMF, and the World Bank should stop funding Ethiopia to stop it from carrying out genocide in the country. And number 4, Oromians need their legitimate right over the Oromia regional state. Oromians are calling upon the world community to learn about and understand the Oromo problem, to stand by the Oromo to stop such atrocities, to stop supporting the repressive regime of Ethiopia, and to support the Oromo's legitimate right for their self-determination. For more information about Oromian culture, history, and contemporary issues, here are some online resources.
Dubartiin geerartuu dubarti haadha dhiira goota minina deesse yoo ilmi jiksee lolu inni ilaaltu teesse ilaameeti ajoollee biyya kooti kan hundeen Oromooti Finfinnee handhuurri koo biyya tufaamunaati diinni riiba dhabee akka biyya baadhamee Oromiyaan nu dhaaluuf walitti lallabee Finfinnee roobsi jabbii Santaa roobsi jabbii Sabbataa roobsi jabbii Mukamii roobsi jabbii Laqxaaboo roobsi jabbii Buraayyuu roobsi jabbii Olataa roobsi jabbii Abbaan biyyaa Oromoodhaa irra nuwaan si rabbi Abbaan biyyaa Oromummaa irra nuwaan si rabbi Maastar pilaanii keessanii nuti hin feenu lafa kookiya lafa kaakayyuu kiya hin mummurin Addisa tuutukin Addisa goota kaakilee keenya loon keenya tirrachisa sirrii sin galchina jettafaa